Hi, my name is Louise Clarke, and today I want to talk about how to stop using cocaine. I previously talked on crack, but I understand that cocaine users won't be looking at my site for crack, so I best do this video for cocaine users, because saying that the crack and cocaine will have the same ways of recovery. All stimulants will have the same way of recovery, really. It's like it doesn't really matter which stimulant you're using, whether it's crack, cocaine, amphetamine. The recovery process is the same. So let's now tackle cocaine. So as I say, my name is Louise Clarke, and I've worked with crack and cocaine users developing services specifically for women since 1991. I worked for the voluntary sector, and then I set up my own independent drug service, which no longer is running. But I've written numerous books on the topic, and this one is one I've written for crack or cocaine users, called Stop Using Crack Cocaine and Reclaim Your Life. I wrote it very simply, very simple English, in very short paragraphs, so it doesn't matter how much your concentration is, you can open it anywhere in the book on the topics that you want to address. And so yes, that book is available now, but now let's continue with explaining. Okay, so the myth is out there that if you're addicted to cocaine, that there's not much chance of being able to stop. They're making it like, oh, people are stuck on it forever and ever, and look at these celebrities, they're still stuck on it and they can't get away. This isn't true. You can stop. It's not easy, but you can do it. And so I'm going to use and show you here what I found to work, and what you're dealing with the nature of the addiction. There's different types of addicts, and this is where we've got a problem, because in society you're trained to think that addiction is something that you need every day, and so we know it in relation to drugs like heroin, where if you don't have it you'll be physically ill. So when we're looking at cocaine, there is no physical addiction to cocaine, so we could conclude easily, oh well, if I don't use every day I'm not an addict, which would be wrong, because the nature of the mental addiction is it doesn't have to be every day. It could be once a day, it could be once a week, it could be once a month, payday. If you're using every month on payday and you can't stop yourself from using every month on payday, then you're addicted. It doesn't fit in with the model that they've produced of, oh, well, a physical addiction, as I say, but it's still an addiction. If you want to do a test to see if you're addicted, if you don't believe you're addicted, if you're deluding yourself that you're not addicted because you only use once a week or so forth, then be honest with yourself and say, how often do I use? Okay, now I'm going to try and go past that time. So if it's a week, let me go and do 2 weeks. If it's a month, let me try and do 5 weeks, 6 weeks. You find that you can't, then you can acknowledge you have an addiction. If you can, then you haven't got an addiction yet. And I say yet because this is another thing that needs to be known about the nature of the drug, is, you know, you'll have myths going around of, oh, they've got an addictive personality. I don't buy into it. If the nature of the drug is, it's like planting a seed in the soil. If you plant a seed, it won't grow as soon as you water it. You water it, and gradually then a shoot will come out within a short period of time, and that shoot will then grow. And it's the same when you first use cocaine. You've planted a seed in your mind, and you could, each time you use, you're watering that seed, but it won't grow. The seed won't grow. It takes about 6 months, 6 to 7 months is how long you've got an incubation period, where you may have some people that say, oh, well, I was addicted straight away. It's not really an addiction. What it is they've decided they like some more and like some more and like some more, which is not the same as an addiction. And any addict will know that after 6 or 7 months, it's gone beyond, oh, I'd like some more, to that's what they're thinking about from when they wake up to when they go to sleep. It's nagging in their mind. They may then say, well, it doesn't nag my mind every day. But then we're back to this, well, it will nag when it knows it's worth nagging, because it's no good nagging for you to go and buy if you've got no money in your pocket. but therefore a lot of people paid monthly will use monthly, and it's related to the money. It's a trick, it's a mind trick that goes on, and people underestimate the addiction with mental, because well, it's just mental, it's just mind over matter, and as if physical addiction is, you know, more stronger. But the truth is it's not. The truth is, even with, say, a heroin addict, it's only fraction, it's only like 10% of it, it's a physical addiction. You know, many heroin addicts get off of heroin, but they don't stay off, because mentally they're dragged back to using, not physically. So this mental addiction is really underestimated, but it's more something to be dealing with than the physical. The physical, you can feel it. The mental, it's all trickery, it's all mind, and I'm sure through using cocaine you know that all the little tricks that it plays to get you to use. Now, therefore you may say, okay, I'd like to stop. Or you say, oh, I have stopped and then I started again and I seem to start, and you see people get clean and then they start again. And this is because it's not a drug that you can just stop overnight. You're dealing with a mental addiction. As I say, it takes 6 months to become addicted, 6 months for it to germinate the seed and start to grow into a lovely tree. I have pictures that I will try and put into this video once I've finished, of showing you how that process goes. So we'll pretend that they're there now. So we've got the seed planted in the mind, we've watered it, it's for 6 months, and now it's sprouted and it will start to grow. And as you'll see, it grows into a massive tree, where before you had your self-esteem, which will be a little orange circle. The self-esteem in yourself would be so, and as a tree grows and you see that you've succumbed into using when you don't want to, your self-esteem lessens and lessens, and the tree grows stronger and stronger for the addiction that it suffocates your person. And so then you feel, well, what's the point in trying, because each time I try I fail, so this attacks you even more. So now we need to reverse that process by stop watering the tree and to reduce it back to a seed. When we reduce it back to a seed, the addiction won't go. It is gone. It will take 2 years to go. But don't switch off now, because that's not 2 years of hell. There's a month of craving, and then we move into the second stage. 5 stages you need to go through before you can become totally clean of the drug. But as I say, it's like if we plant a seed in the soil and it doesn't rain, then rain comes, even if it's in a few years time, then that seed will be germinated and start again. So if you do the 2 years, 5 stages of coming away from the drug and becoming totally clean, if you water it again, if you use again, then you will start have an addiction, and you won't have the 6 months incubation period that you had to begin with, because that's when a new fresh seed was put in someone's mind. Now if you were to use after you've become clean, you would go back to where you was very quickly. But you're not going to do that. So we have 5 stages, and today I want to talk about the first stage really. And the first stage is about cravings, and yes, this is where the drug will keep calling you back and you will use because of cravings, and it's about people have problems with the cravings, understandably. Okay, so we need to look at the cravings. The first thing I'd say is that the cravings will be physically caused, even though it's not physical addiction. There will be a brain chemistry gone on that has created a need, but it's not a real need for the drug. So we need to satisfy, what it is a need created for a chemical called dopamine. So we need to satisfy that need for dopamine. What I have used and what works is these Chinese herbs that you can get in any Chinese shop. There is no drug substitute for cocaine. I mean, there may be some on the market, but I wouldn't say there's any that are worth having. But these herbs, I have worked with a Chinese doctor for quite a while, and we shared our knowledge and came to use these herbs, which we found successful. The herbs, I'll put the name up, but the herbs are called Jiahui Zhaoyawa, and they're a herb for nervousness, but they work for detoxing off of anything really, and they'll do 3 functions. They will reduce the craving, because they'll sort out the brain chemistry. They will create a balance of harmony within you, because if you've used cocaine and you've overstimulated, so your mind, your brain will try to counteract that, and now when you're stopping, that counteraction's going on, and therefore you need something to rebalance you. So the herbs will rebalance you. You can get them in little pills like this. You'll take 8 in the morning, 8 at night should be sufficient. If you need more, you need more. They're not addictive. They balance you. If you take more, they'll just balance you more. So you can only be balanced, and there's no more balance than balance. They're not addictive. You won't OD. If you took the lot, you'd end up with stomach cramps, so that's not advisable. But 8 should be sufficient in the morning and 8 at night. So they'll rebalance you, they'll detox the body, that they'll throw out any chemicals in the body, and also they will calm you down. And so they're not wonder drugs, but they will help you. But basically you've got to do some work here to come away from, one of the most powerful drugs we have. So the herbs will help, and you can buy them, as I say, in any Chinese herb shop, or even you can buy them on eBay. So these are useful. When we look at the cravings, and you've got the mental craving, that is a nagging to go and use, to go and meet with people that use, just one, and then there's a physical craving, which would be more like the butterflies, the emptiness in your tummy, tasting it, so forth. I separate them out. The mental craving we deal with in a mental way, and the physical craving we deal in a physical way. The mental one, I will start with by saying that it's like if you had an abusive partner, and they had done you wrong, and then they come back after time and they try and sweet talk you round, and if you let them have a foot in the door, then away they go. So the answer with that partner is to not even entertain them. And it's the same with the mental craving. If the craving comes and you start arguing with the craving and say, no, I don't want one, because if I have one, I'm going to have two, or so forth, it's like you're getting hooked into a dialogue with the drug. And the drug is like a personality, and will want you to dialogue with it, because we know that if we can get someone to dialogue with us, we've got more chance of persuading them to come our way. If therefore they don't dialogue with us in any way, we haven't got a chance in hell. And this is how the drug, like a personality, will try to run you, is they will try to get you into a dialogue. So even though they'll say, well, we'll just have one, we'll just visit so and so, it's a way to get you to say no, or whatever, then you're dialoguing. So what you need to do is, when the craving, the nagging comes in your head, is to not entertain nothing, to say no, just go away, go. Don't argue with it, don't dialogue with it. There's no point in dialogue, it's a drug anyway. But don't dialogue, just tell it to go in whatever wording you want to use. I mean, you can use foul language if you wish, but you just need to be telling it to go. No, you don't want to use. And it will go. And it will go just like a person that's trying to interact with you, an ex-partner who's trying to get sweet with you and bring you chocolates and flowers or so forth. They will, if you told them no, go, you wouldn't entertain a discussion, they would go, because they know that there's no point in staying. But they wouldn't go with intent to, right, that's it, I'll never get around them again. They would go and say, leave you for a bit, and then come back later and try you again later. And they would keep going away and coming back. But if you entertain them and dialogue, they will stay longer, and they will maybe hook you in the conversation. So it's about no, but knowing that they will come back. And when they come back, you again tell them, no, I don't want to. No, bye, go. And they will go. And this will go on for a month. And this is your first stage of your recovery, is dealing with the cravings for a month. And it's good to bear in mind that this will only happen for a month, because when it first starts, the nagging, you think, oh, this is driving me mad. I'm just going to have one to just shut it up, because I can't tolerate this much longer. But if you're knowing this is only for a month, then you've got more chance of knowing, right, I've just got to hold out for a month. After a month, they'll stop trying. A person would stop trying to pester you in life, and the drug stops trying, because there's no point. At the end of the day, it's only going to try what works. And if things don't work, then they won't get tried again. So for a month, the cravings will try to hook you into a dialogue, or try to get you to use through craving. If that doesn't work, they will try the next stage, which would be coming more subtly underneath, like through dreams. But the first stage is craving. It lasts a month. It's the same for everyone. And the craving in the mental form, we don't entertain, we don't dialogue with, we don't argue with, we just tell it no, go, like a stuck record. The physical craving, there's no point in dialoguing either, because it's not on a mental wavelength, it's a physical thing. Therefore, the physical needs to be met with physical. Now, the thing is, the craving, like we have when we have bad partners, we remember the good and we forget the bad, and the bad's over that side and the good's over that side, and we don't join the two together. And if we were to join the two together, say with an abusive partner, we wouldn't stay with them. But it's because we sort of separate and forget how bad they are that we end up back with nice with them again. So it's the same with the drug. If we could remember the bad sides of how the drug is ruining our life and taking everything from us, you wouldn't use again. But it's like, after a period of time has passed, you then have the craving, and it's like as if all the bad is out of your mind. You're not thinking about the bad. All you're thinking about is how it could do you so good. It could get rid of your feelings of discomfort, or it could make you feel so wonderful. So it's not letting you associate with the bad. Therefore, if you try to get it to associate with the bad, it will run a mile. So this is what we're going to try to do. But again, it's not about listing all the bad experiences that you've gone through, because then it's getting into a mind again, because you're thinking of all the answers that you can give. So it's about having one experience. So I'm sure you've got more than one experience of bad times that the drug has brought you. And it's about taking one of those bad times, and when the cravings come in a physical form, it's meeting them with a memory of the bad time that the drug has given you and the bad feelings it's given you, and the drug will not want to be associated with those bad feelings. So by presenting the bad feelings, like showing the partner the bruises that you've got on your arms when they come with their chocolates and flowers, they go, because they don't want to be associated with the bad. And the drug is the same. So it's about having a one bad experience and reminding the drug, the craving, of that one bad experience, and dealing with it in a physical way of remembering the bad, remembering how sad it left you, or whatever negativity it left you with. And with that, that craving will go. Again, it will go, and then it will come back, and it will go, and it will come back later to check you later. But it would only do it for a month, and after a month those cravings will be gone. But this is where you get into a danger stage in the second stage, because then you get overconfident and you think, oh, I've got no cravings no more. Yeah, no, I could have a little bit because I'm not really addicted. Look how I stopped. So this is where we get into the danger. But I don't really want to deal with stage 2 today. I just want to get you to stage 1 to stop. And once you've done that, then we'll look at stage 2. Obviously, if you want to go on to all the stages, you can use the book, because that explains all the stages. And it's very cheaply available online. Also with the drug, it will increase, when you use the drug, it increases your sugar level, your blood sugar level. So you may find that when you stop using, that then you're craving sugar and sweets and all that, and you may feel, oh, I don't want to have all this sugar because I don't want to put on weight, blah blah blah. But I would say allow the sugar, allow to eat as much sweets as you like, because you're craving the high sugar levels, because that's what you're used to through using the drug. And once you've gone past the craving stage of the first month, the sugar levels will rebalance out too, especially if you're using the herbs. The herbs will help this balancing process, because partly it's chemistry in the brain, partly it's learnt behaviour. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover today, so I've managed to cover it. I also have a website called higherinsight.webs.com. that covers lots of aspects of crack and cocaine and heroin and many other topics. So I hope that this has inspired you, this video, to start the process of reclaiming your life and putting cocaine out of your life, because yes, you're worth it. So I hope you do well. If you want to write any comments or questions below, then feel free to do so, and I wish you well. Goodbye.